Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wakakadash, and the Heavenly Father. True name is Yahweh, and His unbegotten Son, Bahashem, in the name of Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai. Those are the true names in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, Balash Wakadash Tongue. I say Barakatham to the elders and apostles, Wa'akwaf, and I say Shalom. And this is a sit-down lesson of the prophecy updates as of December the 17th, 2025 on this Wednesday morning. And this is from RT.com. As we've been saying, the on and off, back and forth, ongoing tensions heating up between NATO and Russia. And this is a news article from RT.com as of December 17th, 2025. And reads, it says, Russia outlines response to NATO's war preparation. The military bloc is not hiding the fact that it is gearing up for a conflict by 2030. It says the defense minister has warned. It says the Russian military is making preparation for a possible attack by NATO members. Defense Minister Andriy Baskovov said on Wednesday during a government meeting. It says that actions by the NATO countries, including increasing their military spending and the strengthening of their armies. It says as well as the deployment of the medium-range missile system and screening logistics for rapidly movement of troops to Eastern Europe. It says confirmed that the bloc is preparing for a confrontation, with Russia. The Belarusov has said, it says plans of the alliance is set in early 2030 as the deadline for their readiness for such actions. It says NATO officials repeatedly made statements that the intent, we are not threatening, but we are being threatened, the minister says. It says the improvement of Russia's nuclear force is a key priority to ensure the credibility deterrence against a possible aggression. Baslovov said this year the Russian Navy commissioned and a new Burl A-class strategic nuclear submarines. The two or more boats on the same type typically in the works. The Air Force has deployed two additional TU-160M strategic bombers, while the strategic missile troop is remaining its units in the Yarosh system. Also, a newly developed mobile medium-range Russian missile system is set to enter this year. Basilov noted, reiterating the announcement made earlier during the same event by President Putin. It says other measures named by Basilov are directly at improving the warfare capabilities of Russia's conventional forces and making the military forces more prestigious and effective through the better education opportunity, healthcare service, and social benefits. Western officials claim that the new military buildup is a response to the nuclear assertive Russia's and the escalation of the Ukraine conflict in 2022. Moscow maintains its pose no threat to the bloc and denounced allegations to the contrary as a fear tactics mean to pressure domestic population anti-accomplice of the militarization agenda. Right, so these are signs of wars and rumors of wars. Bring up that Matthew 24th chapter. Right, so despite the fact Russia been denying the allegations that they have intensity against NATO, they were saying if they're provoked, they will be ready against NATO. So that shows a sign right there. The tension is still going to escalate between Russia and NATO. So these are building up of wars and rumors of wars. Matthew 24 verse 6, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. Right, this is a sign of wars and rumors of wars. Russia outlines a response to NATO's war preparation. That's a sign of wars and rumors of wars. It says, ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See, that should be not trouble, for all these things must first come to pass, but then it's not yet. Right, so we're going to see wars and rumors of wars. Matthew 24, verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation, right? Russia versus Ukraine, NATO versus Russia. For nation shall rise against nation, Venezuela versus the United States armies. That's a sign of wars and rumors of wars. As the Trump administration made that announcement that they would make blockage of oil vessels importing, exporting throughout the whole area over there in Venezuela. So that's a sign of tensions of wars and rumors of wars heating up between the President Maduro versus the United States President of Donald Trump. It says, for nation shall rise against nation, which goes to Ephanos, and the kingdom against kingdom. And there should be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. Right, so on top of that, we're going to be seeing famines and pestilence, earthquakes in diverse places, and the increasing kingdom against kingdom and nation against nation, and the increasing of wars and rumors of wars. So I'm going to go to that, I think it was another news article that Russia was mentioned. Yep, it says, this is another news article, twin tensions between Russia and NATO. It says December 17, 2025, and it reads, Russians Orshin missile system to enter service this year. Advanced military technology is key to the nation's nuclear deterrence, and President has said. It says Russia's new developed medium-range Orshin missiles will enter combat before the end of the year. Russian President Vladimir Putin said on Wednesday during a keynote speech to the defense military. It says the Russians leader was reporting military achievements over the year and outlined policy goals, including military research. He named the Orshin, along with other weapons, means to ensure the strategic priorities and security and global positions of the Russia for decades to come. The other systems he mentioned are the medium-range cruise missiles, the Bafrost-Sting, if I pronounced that right. It says an underwater Poseidon drone, both power with miniaturized nuclear reactors. It says what he said reach developments milestones this year. It says we will keep working on those systems, tune them, and improve them. But we already have them, Putin stressed. It says Moscow revealed the Russian system with a strike on a weapons plant in Ukraine in November 2024. It says which described as a successful combat test. The missile is understood to carry out multiple nuclear capability individuals targetable warheads. It says Putin previously compares to the conventional variant used in the Ukraine attack to a low-yield nuclear weapons in terms of destructive power. Russia has since announced plans to deploy the Orshin systems in Belarus, its key military ally. During the meeting, Putin outlined progress in demilitarizing the Russian army, directed the military to study the experience of the Ukraine conflict, developing new weapons, addressing the issues of medical rehabilitation and provision of social service to soldiers, and warned Western leaders to seeking escalation tensions to their position is irresponsible. It says Russia has been seeking to develop diplomatic solutions to contradictions and conflicts as long as there is the slightest hope of success. Those who convince themselves that Russia can be spoken into the language of force are full responsible for those missed opportunities Putin scratched. This is the book of Ezekiel chapter 38 and verse 4. It says, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and will bring thee forth in all thy army, horse and horsemen, all of them clothed for all sorts of armor, even a great couple of shields, all hand swords. Of course, we know Russia represents the bear in Ezekiel the 38th chapter. So we're going to see Russia in that warlike mindset as having fought, put the hooks and backs and jaws of the Russians, which represents the bear in Ezekiel the 38th chapter. So Russia made that announcement, saying if they come under opposing side, the aggression, potentially, European Union, NATO, and their allies as well too, because they have a right to respond back. So this Orshant missile, they made this announcement. They said it's going to be ready to use and test, be ready for the end of this year. So that's another sign, indicator right there that the tensions are going to stir up between, Belarus and Russia together, going against the European Union and NATO and their allies. So these are signs of wars and rumors of wars building up. And this is the prophet Joel. So, as Vladimir Putin said previously, he's willing to have talks with the nations to ease the tensions. But he said if they're provoked, from the European Union and NATO, they have a right to defend themselves, Belarus and Russia together. It says, Joel 3 verse 9, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, right the armies of the other nations. It says, prepare war, wake up the mighty man, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. It says, right prime example, Russia's Orshant missile system to enter service this year. Advancing military technology is the key to the nation's nuclear deterrence, the president has said. Russia's new development range Orshant missiles will enter combat before the end of the year. Yeah, that's that Joel 3 verse 9. Yeah, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. Right, so the Heavenly Father put in that warlike mindset. These are arms of nations, despite the fact they don't want to get to that far. But the Heavenly Father continue to put that spirit on these arms of nations to be in that warlike mindset. So more military spending, more military training, more nuclear training, more missiles tests, more missiles launched as they be in that warlike mindset. And more nuclear tensions are only going to escalate between the nations. That's why it says wars and rumors of wars. That's what we're seeing. Like it says in Matthew's 24th chapter that Yahushua mentioned. Joel 3 verse 9, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty man, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Right, that's what we're seeing over there in the Middle East, which is Western Asia, and all these nuclear escalations tensions are heating up between the nations.
Hello, Moto.
This is Joel chapter 3 verse 10. It says, beat your plowshares and the swords and the plenty hooks and the spears, let the weak sound strong. Right, so let the weak sound strong, which we're seeing these are arms and they start in that warlike mindset. So, as I mentioned again, you're going to have NATO and the European Union going to spend more than military defense. I believe that's going to go up in the year 2026. And then you're going to see Iran building up their nuclear capability against the adversaries. So we're going to see more military spending, more military training, and more nuclear escalation hitting up between the nations, which we're seeing an increase. So let the weak sound strong. That's only going to continue to increase. Once again, Matthew's 24 and verse 6. It says, ye shall hear of wars, rumors of wars. Right, as we're hearing wars, rumors of wars. See that you be not in trouble, for all these things must first come to pass, but the end's not yet. Matthew's 24 and verse 7, for nation shall rise against nation, which goes to Ephenos, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. And this is the Gospel of Luke 21 and verse 25. It says, there shall be signs in the sun and the moon and the stars upon the earth, discretion of nations, will perplexity reborn. Right, so Yahushua is showing us these are signs in the in the sun and the moon and the stars. We're seeing signs in the skies. With the chariot sightings, with this increasing Atlas situation that have been taking place for the past 2.5 months, and still to this day. What's that? Second Esdras, the 9th chapter that the Heavenly Father mentioned. He's going to show us these plain beginning and powerful works of any effects and signs. And upon the earth discretion of nations will perplexity reborn. So all is going to continue to increase. So with that, this was just a quick prophecy update that I wanted to bring out as of December 17th, 2025, on this Wednesday morning. So with that, I would like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh B'Hashem, Yahweh Shai B'Hashem, Wakakadash, and the Heavenly Father, true name is Yahweh, and His only begotten Son B'Hashem, in the name of Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai. Those are the true names in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, the Lashon Kodash. And I say Barakatham to the elders and apostles, Wa'akim Akwaf. Until next time, I would say Shalom.